This country's just gorgeous. So on one of my outings, I'm going to come up through here, and we're going to work all these hills. Probably be in a couple months. We're going to kind of start up toward the north, maybe do the extreme north afterwards, and then slowly work our way south, and then head west. So we are coming into Bais right now. We're on the backside of Bais City. Now Bais City is close to where the Mt Canlaon sandbar is. I really love Bais. Bais got hurt really bad with the last hurricane. They had some real bad problems. Now I'm not sure how many sugarcane seasons they get. I'm going to say maybe one, maybe two. So that is where they cut the sugarcane. Then I think, you see the guys in the field? They're cutting it. And then I think they may burn the fields. Oh, it looks like they're plowing them here, so that's even better. I like to see where they plow it under, because that adds nutrients back into the ground. So if they don't have a plow, then they're going to probably burn the chaff. So sometimes you get it where there's just tons and tons of smoke. It's harvest time for sugar. Yeah, everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's got to pass. Yeah, they just let everybody pass because they're going to do whatever they're going to do. All right, so once you cross this little bridge, you are in the city of Bais. Now this overflowed, you guys, and they had, I don't know how much mud, but I want to say anywhere from a foot to 3 feet of mud down this road from that river. And it was a disaster in through here, you guys. And looking around, you wouldn't really know it. My friend came by and had some video of this area, and it was unbelievable. They bounced back pretty resilient. Filipinos are tough, man. Now this is the other town that's got a Jollibee. They got a nice big market. So I really love Bais. I like the feel of this town. I like how you can go out just to the right here. You can get to the ocean, and you can get a good view of the ocean. This is their market. Now these white vans are the vans that tour the islands. And they just drive like a bat out of hell, so watch out for these vans. They go really fast. So if you don't like to go too fast, don't take the vans, take the bus. Now I was in a van up in Palawan that was going so fast. I had about 20 minutes till the end of my ride, and I told the guy, I said, you know what? I'm not ready to see Jesus today. You can let me out right here, and he did. Because it was just too crazy. So if you don't feel safe on these buses, get off the bus, get another ride. That's my best advice. All right, so we're coming through Bais by the Bay. Bais by the Bay. So this is kind of a fun park here. They set it up for Christmas, and it looks really nice. Now this is the second biggest town after Dumaguete, heading north. Alright, so we just left Bais. You can see how pretty this country is. Really beautiful. Sugarcane trucks are parked to the side of the road. See the workers out there harvesting the yield. Now, this island is very rich because of sugarcane. So you'll hear a term called the sugarcane barons. They brought a lot of money to this island over the years. Sugarcane used to be one of the top producing crops in the Philippines. It probably is still. I think this island might be the number 3 for sugarcane production, if I remember right. Now I've come up this road several times over the years, but I've never vlogged it. I did some photography, took some shots, but I haven't really made any videos. So this is my first time actually making some real video outside of Dumaguete. Looks like they're doing some line work. Now, when they had the hurricane come through here, all these lines were down, you guys. You can see some of the trees that were down. It was a real disaster in here. And I was wondering how many of these trees would survive, because these trees are fairly old. Something you just don't see that much in the Philippines. Now, Manhuyan Sandbar is up this way, just outside Bais. Very famous place to go spend an afternoon. Sometime I'll do a vlog up there. It's one of the places almost everybody just goes to right away. But I haven't vlogged it yet. We're gonna have to do that, just to say we vlogged it. And I personally don't think I've actually gone on the sandbar before, come to think about it. I went there one time, but there wasn't anything running. Now that I think about it. Let's make go around this guy here. Gotta really drive defensively here, you guys. Now the cool thing is the landscape keeps changing through here. It just gets greener and greener as you go north. So I was thinking to myself, is it really greener, or is it just my imagination? And it dawned on me, yes, it is greener. And I'll tell you why. Because if you look the way the storms track as they're going from the east to the west, a lot of the storms will go kind of through the middle part of the Philippines and higher. And if anything's headed toward like Dumaguete, it almost always goes north of Dumaguete, just the way things track. So naturally, it's going to be greener up here than it is down in Dumaguete. That's pretty. We're starting to get toward the coast now. There we go. There's a shot of the bay. Now this traffic through here right now, this is kind of what I'm used to. It's got the USA shirt. All right, representing for me. So normally it's like this, just a few cars here and there, some trucks. The land out here is beautiful for growing, you guys. So fertile. He's got a little bundle of sugar cane. I don't know what he's doing with that little mini bundle of sugar cane. See the sugar cane truck? Lots of trucks. So we're in Manhuyan, and the famous Manhuyan sandbar is off to the right. I think the sandbar is going to be possibly behind us. This beautiful coast area, you guys. Love the Philippines. Love the Philippines. Look at that. Nice bay there. Basically running up the coast here, you guys. And then it'll jut in and jut out. We're basically taking the old roads. Now, years ago, before they had a lot of inland roads, the easiest roads to make were along the coast. And that's where all the main roads started out, along the perimeter of the coastline. Because you didn't have to hack a ton of dense jungle to get inland to make a road. You could just start easily where things were sparse, not as dense of a jungle, and then work inland at your own leisure. It's really pretty in through here, you guys. Love being back on the coast. Nice breeze. It'd be a great place to car camp on the ocean. Now you'll start to see areas where there's erosion and they're repairing the seawall, and a lot of that was from the storm surge from the hurricane. Caused a lot of problems, you guys. It's amazing how well they've come back after all the damage and issues. Now the farther north you went, the worse things got. And it started at about Bais and went north. Oh, now, when I come up here the last time, this was probably 3-4 years ago, this whole right lane that we're on now was tore up. So you'd go a ways and then you'd have to stop because they're tearing up the lane, and you go a little ways and you have to stop. It was really bad traffic, and that's how I bypassed Canlaon last time, because I totally missed it. I wasn't able to get over there. Kind of got rerouted with the traffics. So you guys, the small town stuff that we're starting to get into now, this to me is like the real Philippines. Kind of a little bit back in time, a little bit relaxed. It's kind of like old school Philippines. You know, it's kind of like where time stood still. Not a lot to do, everybody knows everybody. Just cruising through the little towns, seeing all the people. I just like that vibe. There's small town America and there's small town Philippines. And this is small town Philippines. A lot of people grew up in these small towns and they had to go to the big city for work to survive. And they miss these little towns. A lot of OFWs living overseas come from these little towns. I hear that from time to time. Yeah, thank you for showing me these little areas. I grew up in this area, or I miss it. It reminds me of home. Things that a lot of us would just take for granted. You know, so there's a wooden building there. There's another wooden building. Yeah, these wooden buildings are far and few in between. Now, one of the reasons is a lot of the woods, the termites just eat up. There's some woods that termites don't touch. And I'm not sure if that's what these old buildings are built from. I want to find somebody that knows something about wood that can take me to some of these old buildings sometime and kind of explain to me what they used and the style of craftsmanship, how they were built. That would be interesting to me. Maybe you'd find that interesting also. Just have to be in the right place, the right time for that to happen. I'm starting to see a lot more typhoon issues, trees down everywhere in here, you guys. Look at all the trees here. Still picking up after it. More here. Small town Ayungin. I'm sure somebody will correct me if I said that wrong. Now this area I remember as not being very wealthy. And I would imagine that storm did not help. Oh, look at that. Is this guy's gonna pull over when they pass him or what? I don't know. What's going on here? Let's see if we can just pass him. That's this dude. Now I remember I stopped in one of these towns, I don't know if it was here or nearby, and they kind of looked at me like, what are you doing here, Joe? It was kind of one of those moments. And I thought to myself, what am I doing here? I'm not sure if they had a storm surge come up through here and wipe this out, or what, or if this new, now it looks like maybe just new construction here to kind of shore up the road a little bit better. That's my guess. Well, I would imagine they had storm surge because it's right on the sea there also. But you know, the thing is, I found in these places where the people aren't really rich, is the people are usually super friendly. Super friendly. That just makes it just a real treat and a blessing for me to experience that. Now this is where it gets interesting for me. Because the people are usually approachable. Sometimes they're a little shy, but they're usually real easy to talk to. Oh, we gotta let this dude get out of the road here. Looks like he's pushing. Look at him push. Not like they're doing any good, right? It's kind of funny. That's kind of funny. So they put the tires under there to keep the road a little bit nicer shape. So those tracks don't destroy the road, they just roll on the tires. They keep picking the tires up and throwing them back on top of the tracks, and then it just kind of keeps recycling. Now, Bernie was telling me that all the national roads are going 4-lane. And this is a national road, so they're going to widen it out on each side, it looks like. You know, one thing that I notice is it seems like it's a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner vibe, a little bit greener than going up to Cebu Island. Some people say that they love Cebu Island, Well, if you go from Santander up north through Cebu City, it just doesn't seem as pretty as this island here. And I beg to differ if people say that they like it better than here, because I don't. This to me is much more enjoyable, much more scenic, much more layered. It just gives you a real small town feel like it's here. See the people dress really simple, see the old wooden buildings. It's kind of a jeans and t-shirt crowd. People kind of stop in front of you like they got all day. You know, it's just like time stood still, you guys. Now this is one of the popular Honda dealerships in the Philippines, DuXM. And that's where I bought my Hondas, both of them. And they had good service, and they had a good selection. So if I had to buy another Honda, I'd probably go there again. This area really pretty in here. So this is Gahuligan. It's my best interpretation of how to say it. I've never heard it actually said up here. So good luck trying to say some of these places if you've never heard them said before. All right, so we got off the main highway and now we're heading inland. It's about 7 miles. Gotta watch out for everything going on here. So much craziness. So now we're headed up into the hills. We're headed to Canlaon City. This is getting nice up here. Oh my gosh. Look at this area. Wow. Oh my gosh. This is something up here. Look at this, you guys. Look at this. Welcome. I couldn't read it fast enough. It's kind of a strange script to be reading it fast and trying to drive and pay attention to everything else. Is it like, well, let's see up here, they'll have a bunch of things like gas station, a place to eat before we go local. Is this the first area where all we saw? So I believe Canlaon is not a very old town. It's more modern, newer town. Like, imagine the area looks like that, right? People live there for years. The last town south of Canlaon town, we don't think that's scroll, like. Store. Alright, so it looks like we're on the main road. We've got to stay on the main road here. Got a little bit of a market going on here. Oh, we got to get around this guy. Yeah, you can slow down too, dude. They don't slow down at all. I kind of forced his hand to slow down a little bit. That was a quick town. I thought there'd be a little bit more there. Oh, look at this. Here we go. Now this, we got to stop. We got to stop. Okay, let's see, what side is my gas door on? It's on this side. All right. Okay, so I found a gas station here in that town that we were just filming, and I got them pumping. I'll see if it'll take 2,000, which is 40 bucks. I don't know if it'll take that much, but we'll try to put it in. And it's not too bad. So premium is 77. So remember 77 being back in town in a couple different areas. So I think that's about the going rate. Let's see how much it'll take. It's at 800 now. Let's watch our gauge. Let's see how far it'll go. All right, so it took about, right about there. So it took about 20 bucks to get here, I think. Well, maybe a little, yeah, about 20 bucks to get here, according to the gauge. Well, now it's kind of slowing down, so I don't know what's up with the gauge. Huh. Well, the gauge is a little funny then. Now the gauge just like, oh, so there's an area that's a little sticky in the gauge somewhere where it's been sitting for a while because it was like 3/4 inches shallow. So it's kind of funny, my gauge had like a little sticky spot where it sat for 1 year and 7 months, because when he's filling up the gas, it kind of stopped to where it sat before, and then it just like shot past that point. So there's a little bit of a sticky point, maybe some gum or varnish built up in that area where the gauge sat. So it's good that it's filled past it, and it'll take a little time for it to kind of work it out as it moves past that position several times. So yeah, so we're full tank, and we put about 40 bucks into it. So we've gone about 110 kilometers so far, and I think we've got about another 4 miles or so on twisty roads. But this is really cool in here, you guys. I'm looking forward to see what Canlaon looks like now. I think that must be the volcano ahead of us. Looks pretty dang big. I can't get a good view of it right now. See it? Look at that. Oh yeah, it's all covered in clouds right now. That's kind of interesting. Kind of overshadowing things. I bet it's really cool up there with the clouds covering that mountain. Welcome to Canlaon City, baby. Been wanting to come here for a long time. Real long time. We'll do our best. Like that looks like a spot right there a guy could pull over at night. Well, maybe it's a little road. So I'm scouting out areas. We'll have to find out where the wilderness area begins. Pretty amazing country though. Really amazed. Really amazed so far. I didn't think Canlaon would be in this kind of an area. I thought it would be completely flat all the way up to the volcano. I didn't think we'd go through the mountains and then down to the little bit lower elevation and then be at the base of this mountain. It was kind of a surprise how that all kind of worked out. And I'm looking for the tourist center. What else am I looking for? There's the bus terminal. So that's nice to know. That's where that is. So if you come to Canlaon, that's where it'll take you to. The main bus terminal. And there's another gas station. Outstanding. Yeah, there we go. Public market. Perfect. All right. So we found the market. That's good. Jeez, that's some speed bumps, man. Oh my gosh. Super speed bumps. Like Mario Brothers speed bumps. Alright guys, the craziest thing. I'm driving along. All of a sudden, I've got no accelerator pedal. It doesn't go boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, what the heck? I just visited the town of Canlaon. I got a little bit of food. They told me where I could and where I couldn't go. And I was getting ready to go to this church area. And all of a sudden my accelerator, nothing. And I thought, what the heck? And I looked on the internet and it said that if this piece fell out, broke, then it wouldn't accelerate. And that's exactly what happened. I looked on the floor and there's these little pieces here. So whatever keeps the gas pedal for stopping, there's a rubber stopper, and that rubber stopper got brittle and just fell out. And so what I'm having to do is these fellows, they've got some epoxy. So we're gonna try to epoxy it. So these guys are gonna help me out here. So what a bunch of luck. They're making some epoxy right now. Very cool. And so you guys are, your names? Ray and? Roy. And look, they're making me some epoxy to put this into my brake pedal, you guys. How cool is that? What a surprise. They got it going on. So these guys do a backhoe service, and they're out of Canlaon. Super nice guys, and I really appreciate them helping me. Where the accelerator pedal stopped, inside the car there was a little rubber grommet that fell apart. And once the accelerator pedal dropped down to where the grommet was supposed to keep it from going any further, the car said, uh-oh, we're not running right. We can't be running with the accelerator pedal a little bit lower than it was. So it just gave me no accelerator pedal. But the funny thing was it gave me a little bit extra RPM. I was running like 12 to 1400 RPM. So I was able to back it up into these guys' driveway. And thank God we were able to get a bolt and put it in there. And these guys helped me out, man. They saved me. So it's back to running. We're going to hit it again. And I thank you so very much, you guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Without it, I'd be stuck tonight. I'd be sleeping right out in the front there. So thank you so much. Salamat. Salamat from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. So the road up here is just freaking stunning. Just stunning. Look at this. I'm on this tiny little road. I just passed some construction. Could barely get through the road. And now I'm on, it's almost like a motorcycle road. I don't know if I'd call it a car pit trail because there ain't many cars that's probably been running it. Look at the rice fields. Look at that. Look at that, you guys. This is like paradise up here, just freaking paradise. So I got about 3 miles to go up this road. Thank God those guys fixed my car. Oh my gosh. So I stopped at the Barangay Center. They told me where not to go. And now I'm just kind of going for it. There's supposed to be some natural water slide up here. And there's supposed to be a church just before it, and a campsite at the church. And it's supposed to be a base camp for camping up here. So hopefully what I'm looking for is up here. It's like mind blown. Mind freaking blown. Oh my gosh, this is way nicer than I ever imagined being up here. Way nicer. Look at this. It's like a fairy tale. It's like a freaking fairy tale. Look at that. This is a fairy tale. This isn't the Philippines. This is the Philippines fairy tale. Gosh. My gosh. Just amazing. Coming through here. Wow. Look at that. Beautiful. Look at that. That is just magical. That is freaking magical, man. Oh my gosh. You guys can see this 360. It's just like, oh my gosh, that's the volcano right there. That's Mt Canlaon. And it's at Advisory 1, which means you're not supposed to climb it. I don't recommend you climbing it. No freaking way, you guys. Look at this. Now I'm going up the side of this mountain. I can't believe this place. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This is sick. Holy smokes, and this road is steep. Look at this. Oh my gosh. There's no way to turn around. Oh my gosh. Well, Jesus, take the wheel. We're going up. Don't fail me now. Don't fail me now. Hello, Po. Is there a church up here?
Hey, Vern.